Hello people of YouTube. If you found this video, you might be stuck in your own installation. We're here to help. This video is going to cover the complete installation of the 48-inch Palm Beach 2 ceiling fan by Hampton Bay. We've already unpacked the fan. We're going to take you step by step all the way to turning it on and everything in between. So if you're stuck at a certain point, you can use the links below to fast forward to that point in the installation. That way you don't have to watch the whole video. But if you liked the video at the end and you found it helpful, please click like and subscribe at the bottom, and that'll help other people find it as well. This is an outdoor fan and it's wet rated, making it perfect for use in any outdoor locations, but it looks great indoors as well. The fan is a tri-mount fan, meaning that it can be hung on a low ceiling without a downrod, it can be hung on a standard height ceiling with the included downrod, or it can be hung on a higher angled ceiling with an extension downrod sold separately. The fan is light kit compatible, and it's also compatible with universal remote controls. The fan has some great installation features like a slide-on mounting bracket and AccuArm blade arms that have captive screws that won't fall out during the installation. Just a couple notes before we get started. You want to make sure that your outlet box is clearly marked acceptable for fan support. If you're putting this fan in place where just a standard light kit was, you want to make sure that the outlet box isn't plastic, but whatever the case is, you want to make sure that it's clearly marked acceptable for fan support. If it's not, please replace it before beginning. Also, if you don't feel comfortable working around electricity, please consult with a licensed electrician. This is an easy project, but again, if you don't feel safe or comfortable, please consult with a licensed electrician. Okay, so as you can see here, we've already unpacked the fan. What we're going to do is we're going to open up the manual and just check the parts list before beginning, and that way we don't get stuck along the way. So first up we have the mounting bracket. The mounting bracket comes pre-assembled inside the canopy with a canopy ring attached. We'll show you in the first step how to remove that to get started. Then you have the AccuArm blade arms. As mentioned previously, the screws are pre-installed and won't fall out during installation, making it nice and easy. You have the switch cap. If you're installing this fan with a light kit, you'll simply press the plug here and remove this part, thread this onto the light kit, and connect the wires inside. You have the ball and downrod assembly. You have 5 blades. The decorative motor collar cover, and the motor itself. Now just a note about the motor. Here at the base of the motor is a rubber plug. You'll need to remove that to allow for screwdriver access to attach the blade arms. Once the blade arms are attached, you'll replace that rubber plug, and that'll seal the fan from any water intrusion. There's also these rubber motor stops that'll have to be removed before attaching the blade arms. And last but not least is the hardware pack. The hardware pack includes a rubber grommet if you're installing it close to ceiling without the downrod. It also includes a pull chain extension, plastic wire nuts, and the blade attachment screws. Okay, now some tools we're going to need for this easy project. The Phillips head screwdriver, a pair of wire cutters and strippers. We like to use a line voltage tester to make sure the lines aren't live before beginning. And of course a ladder. Just one last note. You want to make sure that the power is off at the light switch and at the breaker box before beginning. Okay, we have everything here. We're ready to go. The mounting bracket comes pre-assembled inside the canopy with the canopy ring attached. To remove the mounting bracket, first twist the canopy ring counterclockwise to expose the screws. You'll notice that there are 2 J-slotted screws on either side of the canopy and 2 standard screws. You'll first remove and save the standard screws, and then loosen, but do not remove the screws in the J-slots. Once the J-slot screws are loosened, simply twist the mounting bracket to remove it from the canopy. This fan features a slide-on mounting bracket for easy installation. The mounting bracket has 2 slots that will align with the 2 screws in the outlet box. To install the mounting bracket, simply align the slots with the screws in the outlet box and slide it into place. This is just a demonstration. To install the mounting bracket, first loosen but do not remove the 2 screws in the outlet box. Next, feed the house supply wires through the center hole of the mounting bracket, and then align the slots of the mounting bracket with the screws in the outlet box and slide it into place. Secure the mounting bracket by completely tightening both outlet box screws. To install the fan without the downrod, you'll connect the canopy directly to the motor housing. Start by removing the decorative ring from the bottom of the canopy by pressing the 3 studs inside the canopy with your thumb. The decorative ring will simply pop off the bottom of the canopy. Next, you'll remove 3 of the 6 screws on top of the motor housing. This is simply every other screw. Use a Phillips head screwdriver to remove and save the 3 screws. Next, take the rubber gasket from the hardware pack and feed the wires through the gasket and place the gasket on top of the motor. The large holes of the gasket will align with the screws on the top of the motor, and the small holes will align with the holes from the screws that were removed and saved. Next, feed the wires through the canopy ring. Make sure the notches of the canopy ring are facing towards the ceiling. Place the canopy ring on the top of the motor. Then feed the wires through the bottom of the canopy so that the wires exit through the largest hole of the canopy. Place the canopy on the rubber gasket. The notches of the canopy will align with the screws on the top of the motor, and the holes in the canopy will align with the screw holes from the screws that were removed and saved. Next, using a Phillips head screwdriver, replace the 3 screws that were removed to fasten the canopy to the top of the motor. Make sure all 3 screws are completely tightened. When hanging the fan close to the ceiling, it's a good idea to cut the extra wires so they don't get in the way during the installation. Measure a length about a foot from the top edge of the canopy and then cut the wires. Then strip away about 3/4 of an inch of insulation from each wire. Twist the ends of the wires once you're done to make sure that there are no loose strands. Once that's done, the fan is ready to be hung. The mounting bracket has a convenient hanging hook to hold the fan in place while wiring. This is just a demonstration to show the hook that will align with the hole in the canopy to hold the fan in place while wiring. Make sure to use the hole in the canopy and not the J slot. This is just a demonstration. To hang the fan, locate the hole in the canopy and align that with the hook on the mounting bracket. Then place the hole over the hook. This will hold the fan in place while wiring. Do not leave the fan unattended while it is hanging like this. Before installing the downrod, you'll first need to loosen but not remove the 2 screws located in the motor collar at the top of the fan motor. Use a Phillips head screwdriver to loosen but not remove these 2 screws. Next, remove the rubber band holding the wires together and gently stretch them out. Once they're stretched out, it's a good idea to twist the wires together to make it easier to insert them through the downrod. Then, feed the wires through the canopy ring. Make sure the notches of the canopy ring are facing towards the ceiling. Next, gently pull the green ground cable from the center of the ball and downrod assembly. Then place the canopy onto the ball and downrod assembly. Place the downrod through the largest opening of the canopy. Then place the decorative motor collar cover onto the downrod, inserting the downrod through the smallest opening of the motor collar cover. Next, route the wires through the bottom of the downrod so that they exit through the ball portion of the ball and downrod assembly. Gently pull the wires through until the downrod meets the motor collar cover at the top of the motor. Align the holes at the base of the downrod with the holes in the motor collar. Then insert the downrod into the motor collar. Insert the hanger pin from the hardware pack through one side of the motor collar so that it exits through the other side. Secure the hanger pin using the locking pin that's also included in the hardware pack. Once the hanger pin and locking pin are set, use a Phillips head screwdriver to completely tighten the two set screws on the motor collar. Once those screws are tightened, slide the decorative motor collar cover down until it meets the top of the fan. Before hanging the fan, it's a good idea to cut off the excess wire. Simply measure about a foot from the top of the ball and downrod assembly and use a pair of wire cutters to cut the wires. Then strip about 3/4 of an inch of insulation from each wire. Once the wires are stripped, twist the ends of the wires to make sure that there are no loose strands. Once the ends are twisted, the fan's ready to be hung. Before hanging the fan, it's important to note the slot of the ball and downrod assembly that will align with the tab inside the mounting bracket. When hanging the fan, you'll insert the ball into the mounting bracket and then rotate the entire fan assembly until you feel that slot engage the tab and lock in place. To hang the fan, lift the fan assembly up to the mounting bracket. Note the location of the slot in the ball and downrod assembly and the tab in the mounting bracket. Insert the ball into the mounting bracket and rotate the fan assembly until you feel the slot engage the tab in the mounting bracket. Once set, the fan assembly won't rotate. Begin wiring the fan by taking the green ground wire from the downrod and the green ground wire from the mounting bracket and twisting those two together. If installing close to ceiling without the downrod, there will only be one green ground wire. Take the green ground wires and connect those to the bare copper house wire. This is the ground connection. Secure the connection using an included plastic wire nut and a piece of electrical tape. Next, take the black and blue wires from the fan and twist those two wires together. Once those are twisted together, twist those wires together with the black or hot wire from the house supply lines. Secure the connection using a plastic wire nut and a piece of electrical tape. Then, take the white wire from the fan and connect that with the white house wire. This is the neutral connection. Twist those two wires together and secure the connection using an included plastic wire nut and a piece of electrical tape. Once all the wire connections are made, gently tuck the wires up into the mounting bracket to make room for the canopy to attach. To attach the canopy, you'll lift the fan assembly off the hook of the mounting bracket and align the J slots with the two screws that were loosened in the mounting bracket. Then push up and twist to hold in place. Then secure the canopy using the two screws that were removed and saved in the first step. Make sure all four screws are completely tightened. To attach the canopy, align the J slots with the two screws in the mounting bracket that were loosened in the first step. Push the canopy up and twist to hold in place. Then use the two screws that were removed and saved in the first step to secure the canopy to the mounting bracket. Use a Phillips head screwdriver and insert the screw into the standard hole. Tighten the two screws in the standard holes first, and then tighten the two J-slotted screws. Align the slots of the canopy ring with the two screws on either side of the canopy. Then lift the canopy ring up to the ceiling, press up and twist to lock it in place. Before attaching the blades, it's important to note the side of the blade that has the note on it that says "this side up." This is the side you want facing the ceiling. Align the 3 screw holes of the blade with the 3 posts in the blade arm and place them together. Once the blade and blade arm are set, use the blade attachment screws from the hardware pack and insert 1 screw into each hole. Then use a Phillips head screwdriver to completely tighten all 3 screws. Repeat this process for the 4 remaining blades. Make sure all 3 screws in each blade are completely tightened. Before attaching the blade assemblies, you'll need to remove the rubber plug and the switch plate at the base of the motor. Simply press the rubber plug out and save. Then insert a Phillips head screwdriver through the hole in the switch plate to access the screws holding the motor stops. Loosen and remove the motor stops. You can discard them once removed. When installing the blade arms, note the post on the blade arm that will align with the long slots in the base of the motor. Insert that post into the long slot and it will automatically align the screw holes with the screws. And using a Phillips head screwdriver, insert the screwdriver through the hole in the switch plate and completely tighten both screws. Repeat this process for the 4 remaining blades. Make sure all of the screws for the 5 blades are completely tightened. Once all of the blades are installed, reinsert the rubber plug into the hole on the switch plate. The switch cap attaches to the fan using 4 pre-installed screws on the switch cap. Those 4 screws will align with the 4 screw holes in the switch plate. Begin by removing and saving the 4 screws that are pre-installed in the switch cup. Next, you'll connect the molded adapter plug from the base of the fan with the molded adapter plug in the switch cup. Align the plugs and insert the plug from the fan into the plug from the switch cap until you feel the locking clip snap in place. Next, gently tuck the wires into the switch cup and press the switch cup up so that the 4 holes of the switch cup align with the 4 screw holes in the switch plate. Then use the 4 screws that were removed and saved to attach the switch cup to the fan. Make sure all 4 screws are completely tightened using a Phillips screwdriver. The pull chain extension simply snaps onto the end of the pull chain from the fan. The pull chain operates the fan speed. Pull once for high speed, twice for medium speed, 3 times for low speed, and 1 more to turn the fan off. This fan features a 3-speed reversible motor. The reverse switch is located on the switch cap. The factory default is for a downward airflow for use in the hotter months to create a cooling effect. In the cooler months, you may wish to reverse the direction to pull warm air from the ceiling and down into the room. To reverse the fan's direction, simply place the switch in the opposite position. Make sure the fan is not running when using the reverse switch. Congratulations, your installation is now complete. Time to sit back, relax with a cold beverage, and enjoy your new ceiling fan. As always, thanks for watching, and if you found the video helpful, please click like and subscribe down below. That'll help other people find it as well. And as we always say around here, keep it breezy.